Hi, everybody, and welcome to Operations Management. I will be your professor for the semester, Sarah Bonzo. Welcome to the course and to the program. I know everybody's probably in various stages of progression throughout the program. This course will really focus you to do some analysis on your place of employment. If you're not employed, that's okay. Shoot me a note. We can kind of figure out how you want to approach the consulting portion of the work throughout the semester. You can choose any place that you have worked in the past, some place that a close family member or friend has worked. But the focus of this course is going to be taking those concepts that we talk about in each module and really actually applying them, thinking about how they pertain to the work that you're currently doing, um, the things that you wish that you could change. And I really, again, I want you to reflect on the topics that we're covering because you can run through all of this content. You can read the book, you can do the practice problems. That will only get you so far in actually making a meaningful difference within your organization. You've got to practice. You'll note the banner at the top of Brightspace is the PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Adjust, Plan, Do, Check, Act. We're going to be talking about that as we talk about lean. That is the secret sauce of improvement in operations. We've got to constantly be thinking about where are there opportunities to improve? What's my hypothesis about how I can make it better? And then run a small test of change to see what happens. These tests of change can be extremely small. Sometimes it's just, I need more data. I'm going to email this person and see if I can get it, and then see if you can. It can literally be that small, but we always have to have a bias toward action and we have to have a hypothesis because when we really learn is when we surprise ourselves. So if we think something's going to go one way and it ends up going another, we could, if we didn't write it down or we weren't explicit about it, we could just say, oh, yeah, okay. But when something is actually very different, quite different than what we thought was going to happen, our brain notes it and we remember it. And then we think differently about, okay, what am I going to do next? That's continuous improvement. And that's the cycle we're going to work through. So the way this is going to work throughout the course of the semester is you are going to have what I call mastery quizzes each module. This is not high stakes testing. You can take these quizzes as many times as you want. The highest grade will be recorded within Brightspace. This is an opportunity for you to see if you're kind of following along with the content. Now, every other week, you're going to be posting to Packback. Now, this is a free form discussion platform, but what I'd like to see you kind of focus on is your place. I'm going to refer to your organization, which is the organization you're going to choose for your consulting report. I'd like for you to focus your discussions on really reflecting on the past two modules, what you've learned, and how that makes you think a little bit differently about the work that you're doing. I'd also like you to reflect on what questions you want to ask within your organization to help learn a little bit more and dig a little bit deeper in your operational analysis. We'll also have a midterm and final exam. These will be 10 questions that are open. They're qualitative in nature, so I won't be asking you to do any sort of really crazy math problems. It's going to, again, focus on your ability to not only understand the content, but then also think about its application. So each of those 10 questions, I typically grade them in two parts. One, did you answer the question and demonstrate that you understand the content? And two, are you able to actually apply it and bring in a real example that is meaningful to you and your organization? And then that brings us to the consulting report. So the consulting report, again, there will be a midterm deliverable and a deliverable at the end of the semester. And in that consulting report, you're going to choose three of the topics that we've covered so far. So at the midterm point, you're going to cover three of the topics we talk about in the first half of the semester. And for each one of those topics, I want you, the organization you choose, I would highly recommend this is your place of employment and more specifically your department, because you want to be able to really dig into the details and come up with some actionable recommendations. To do that, that scope has got to be small and it's got to be something that you know and have access to. If you're not currently working, please let me know and we can kind of figure out what to do. So the consulting report, you'll take each one of those topics and you will identify the current condition, what's currently happening in the organization. So for example, if we take project management, you can say, we really don't have any project management right now, but here are some of the upcoming projects where we could really use it. And this is what's happened as a result in the past of not having really tight project management. And then you could make a recommendation in the future state section to say, I actually don't think that our organization is big enough to warrant any sort of really formal program. Like maybe we don't need Agile because it's not moving that quickly. We don't need a whole department of project managers, but maybe a simple tool like Trello or even a simple Gantt chart with, some individuals that are kind of providing some oversight to the project. I want you to get as specific as possible and really think about what makes the most sense for your organization and your department. I would like to see you submit these reports to your supervisors at the end of the semester. You can do that for bonus points. But again, I want you to be thinking about if you were really coming into your organization as a consultant, how would you identify some of the most pressing issues and also then present some really logical opportunities or suggestions for improvement? You are going to get the most points when you are very specific and explicit, and again, make recommendations that are both meaningful to the organization and actionable, meaning that you can actually take a step in that direction just after reading the report, right? They're not big, they're not expensive. They're really simple and straightforward, but again, are meaningful to the organization. So to recap all of that, you'll have really four main things to keep your eye on. Make sure you go through all the content in Brightspace, and then you are going to be responsible for those mastery quizzes each week, discussion posts on PatPack every other week. We're going to have a midterm and final exam, and you're going to have a midterm and final consulting report. So right now, what I would like for you to be thinking about is where you want to focus your energy, that consulting report, and your discussions throughout the semester. If you have any questions about where or how to do that, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I look forward to working with you all. Cheers.